we have Josh and Diamond of the band Tetrarch coming out with their third album, The Ugly Side of Me, out on May 9th. I hope you enjoy. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just
Good.
yeah, I just had the song drop today, so
Yeah.
was watching the reaction and everything.
Yes. How's it been so far?
Good so far. It seems like a lot of people are really liking the song, so that's a good thing.
For sure. Yeah, it's been a few years since I guess Unstable that we chatted last.
Yeah. So it was crazy that was 4 years ago,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. There she is. So you guys aren't in the same room this time.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry, my goodness. This is the third time I jumped on to this thinking that I was gonna have you guys, and I was like, I don't know what like time mess up we got here, but it was all over the place. So like every hour on the hour, I'm like, okay, now is now.
It's okay. We finally got it.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys both look like you're in busy environments.
Not really. I'm just charging my car, and so it's a good place to do it. I'm just sitting
Yeah.
here.
It looks like it's at least sunny.
It is definitely sunny.
That's
Yes.
good. That's good. We're finally getting a little bit here. It's been so windy and so cold, but sun's finally trying to peek its head out. So I'm like, please just stay for a little bit. A little bit of vitamin D. Give
Where?
me a little bit of happiness. I'm in Idaho.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. We get
We
all
love
the
Idaho.
different weather. Do you?
Yeah, actually, like we've had some fun, like the radio stations there in Twin Falls and in Idaho Falls. They're really
Oh,
cool.
I'm in Boise. So you guys just
Yes.
skirted
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, it's a cool, honestly, we have a pretty cool metal community in Idaho, which you wouldn't think because I think because of potatoes and because it's like farm country, I think people automatically probably just think we're a bunch of hillbillies. But there's a lot of metalheads here. We sell out pretty good metal shows, so
Hmm.
it's been cool.
Yeah, we've had good shows there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, let's talk about the album. So it comes out in a little bit over a month. The third album, you guys. So I looked so me and Josh have talked before. I don't know if you know that, Diamond, on the last album on Unstable. And I was looking to see when you guys had started because I know we had talked about it 4 years ago, but I did not realize you guys are coming up on in a couple years, 20 years already.
No, we are not.
Isn't
Let's
that
no.
insane?
No, we're not. We're not. Oh well. Yeah, I guess since
You
theoretically,
go
since
technically.
yeah, technically, I guess we always look at it like our days of playing, in our parents' basement. We like, I guess we don't count, but some people count.
Fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, you two together though has been for about that long, right?
It's definitely been long. We met in school, so we've been, lifelong friends.
Yeah, I mean we're
So
17 now, so yeah, when we're about you know, yeah.
about eight. We
Yeah,
met.
we're
We
about
were
8 years old.
And you were 17 then, 17 now. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
So right out the gate. And this is something we had talked about, Josh, before. With you guys bringing new metal back. Like I was a teenager when new metal was a big thing, and so that was my soundtrack for my teenage years. So hearing it come back has been really exciting and nostalgic. But you guys put a heavier spin on it, and plus. Obviously, much better guitar work than we ever had in the '90s with new metal. So you put like a modern twist on it. And then in this album, Diamond, you're doing a lot of vocals, which you guys harmonize so well together. Tell me
Thank
a
you.
little bit about why you decided to do that.
I think it was just like something that had been tossed around for a long time. Josh had mentioned, even on Unstable and in the past, he'd be like, "Oh, it'd be cool if you sing here." But like, I would usually just do some backup stuff, and just kind of leave it at that. Uh, but this time he got me to go and just give it a try, and I sang like verses on like a couple of the songs. We kind of checked out which one my voice sounded the best on, which one we both sounded good on together. And yeah, it's stuck on one or two of them. So it's cool. It adds a different dynamic, just something different that like when people hear, they're like, "Oh shit, I've never gotten that before." So that's been pretty fun.
I mean, you guys are only 3 albums in now, but the fact that you can still like throw in some new things, I think is always, yeah, is always a fun thing. And
Yeah,
people, and you
definitely.
got one song out already that people are able to hear and see with you doing it. And I was looking through the comments and I was like, oh damn, people are stoked.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
love hearing her.
yeah, it's just something different. It'll be cool to do live too, and just it just anything that gets people excited is always fun for us, you know what I mean? Because like we do what we love and what we like to do, but we want other people to enjoy it too. So it's always good to hear positive feedback.
Yeah, I saw nothing but positive. I didn't get to look at Cold yet today, but I assume it's the same as what I've saw in the other previous 2 releases. Everybody just had, they're excited about what you guys are doing and love what you guys do and are exciting that there's a new album dropping. I've already listened to it multiple times. I got it yesterday when was it yesterday or the day before? I've listened to it quite a few times. Um, and yeah, it's incredible as always. You know that you guys are gonna bring it.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
thank
that.
you.
Whenever we have an interview and like someone is like, I listened to the record. I'm
We're
like, oh
like,
boy. We're still in the, well, let me say me. I won't speak for everybody else. I'm always like really nervous when we put stuff out. It's exciting, but it's still like you're always nervous.
Of course, yeah, yeah. You want it to be well received. No, I don't think
Yeah.
you guys have anything to worry about. Um, Headspace, I think has become one of my favorite ones on that one. It's a heavy song. Tell me a little bit about that one.
yeah, that song, that was like one that just kind of came out of nowhere in terms of being. I remember when we finally got it all right, got the melodies right, the instrumental Diamond. Once she added her, creepy leads and textures to it, it like brought that song together. And I remember we were just driving around Denver listening to like the rough versions of the songs, and Diamond were both just like, that song's kind of cool. Like it kind of just came out of nowhere and turned out um, pretty cool. It's got just like, I feel like a good mixture of, for me, it's fun because it's one of the songs where I do kind of multiple of the kind of vocal styles that I
Yeah,
can do, from screams to like, very clean chorus to kind of weird sounds and notes. So that was a fun song. And lyrically, I feel like I had some cool like moments on that one.
for sure. Well, so I'll dive into the lyric part of things. You do have very heavy lyrics. That's definitely a back to the traditional new metal thing. Um, I don't think we talked about this last time, but now with you guys are making lots of headway quickly. So even though you're only just coming out with your third album, people know who you guys are. I'm sure you have a lot of people at your shows and stuff. So with your heavy lyrics, I can only assume that you have people come up to you, tell you how the song made them feel, that it got them through whatever, and for lack of a better way of saying it, trauma dump on you. How do you protect yourself from carrying other people's stuff when they're telling you intense things?
Yeah, I think I would say our fans, for the most part, are they keep it kind of simple a lot of times, and they're just like, I just wanted to say thank you, or like, this song really helped me through a tough time. Or sometimes maybe it can get a little like we've seen some comments before that can be like real dark. You're like, oh wow, like, and it just puts in perspective what people are going through. But we're ultimately, glad that our lyrics are able um to help people, to relate to people. And I think even one of my favorite things is like, usually comes out as like a positive thing. Like people usually find like hope out of our lyrics in a way, even though like it could be easy for someone to look at it and be like, oh, this is so negative. And it's like, well, look in between the lines, and like there's always like this like yearning and this hope in
Yeah.
each song kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think like it is, even if someone does come quote unquote trauma dump or whatever, like, every now and then you get one of those. I do think it is a part of I hate to call it a job because I love it and so much more than that, but it is like part of our job to kind of provide an escape for people, or in whatever way they're looking for, whether it's like celebration or, they're having a rough time. And so when someone comes up to you and they talk to you about like something like really deep that they're going through, but that your music, even if it like they resonate with it because of something really deep they're going through, it's still special, it's still a special moment. I never like to make anyone be like feel like, oh, I really don't want to hear about this
Yeah.
negativity that they're going through. Like, like we want to relate to people in any way we can, because like everybody has a different story, everybody has a different life, upbringing, a day to day. Everybody's life is so different, and not everybody, unfortunately, not everybody is able to have like as privileged of lives or like as much excitement in their life. They have a lot of hard times, and so I don't want those people to feel like they can't come tell us how our music, makes them feel either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I say that to say, like, I do feel like as artists, we're kind of like a vehicle for like all sorts of emotions and things that people go through. And like, we're happy to be that.
That's good. That's good because yeah, you guys definitely are carrying that torch. Now on the flip side of things, Diamond, with you having this Jackson endorsement, and I'm sure your schedule just becoming even more crazy and busy, I've seen so much support and so many people so excited about it. It's been so refreshing. It's like just when you think that like humans just suck, something happens and you're like, all right, humans don't suck, you know? And so, how has that been to know that you are now someone who is inspiring so many, especially women in metal? Like, women in metal is still, it's getting better, but it's still not an easy place to be. So, how has that been like kind of being this ginormous force in the metal world now and being the first female to be able to carry this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm honored and it feels really awesome. Like it never gets old to me, like I grew up and started and had a dream to do this because I was watching my other favorite guitar players do the same things. And so like to be kind of in that place where you're at a spot where you're doing the things that inspired you to even be here in the first place, it's really crazy. And like I don't know, I'm really honored to be in the situation. Like we've worked really hard. We've gone through every step as a band, as musicians. We've climbed the ladder. We've never taken no for an answer and all that. So it's really rewarding when things like that happen.
Yeah.
Um, and once again, clearly I'm a ball of nerves, but I was like so nervous before it came out because I did just want it to be like everything that I had dreamed of and just like the reception to be really good. And it was even better than I like hoped it was going to be, which has been amazing. So like it was definitely, I could say, one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. Like I'm just really excited about it. I feel really like proud of us, and just like thankful for Jackson and the team. They were just so excited about it and like they were just so adamant about wanting me over there to do this with them, and it's just been a really really cool experience.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Like again, it shows people coming up and wanting to talk about like yeah, like their traumas, and then also wanting to talk about the inspiration I mean, of your music in general, of course, but then that extra level. So it's gonna be just yeah, emotional all across the board.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about the song Best of Luck. That one has some trippy sounds in it. I really, really dig that one. The first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Never heard those sounds before. So tell me about that one.
Yeah, that was a that was we were in the thick of writing this album. We had spent, a few months already in the studio in Denver. And typically when we do an album, we might have like a few weeks here and there where we'll come back to LA and refresh our brains and everything. And that song kind of came about when during one of those times, Diamond, we were just like wanted to start a song, from scratch, and we're like, let's try this different tuning that we've never used once. Like, we don't even know if it's gonna sound good, but like, let's try this tuning. And we grabbed, uh, used a guitar with a Floyd Rose and just made a really
Mm.
like weird riff. And um, I think we put that structure together, Diamond, if I'm not wrong, in like that day. Like the rough skeleton of it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like those riffs are cool. And then we just yeah, and like the that's a song for sure that a lot of people have seemed to enjoy. It was just fun. It was like just a different sound. It was like just a kind of different energy to it.
Yeah, and like Josh said, it's kind of like tongue in cheek because
Hmm.
it's something that's kind of it's cool but also kind of annoying is like when you're coming up, and I'm sure a lot of bands and people in the music industry probably have seen this, but like when you're young and you're like reaching out to a lot of people or a lot of industry people and they like you're just getting no 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 all the time, they always sign their emails with best of luck or like best of luck in the future. And like we go back through those emails now, we honestly keep them from like our old Tetrarch email from when we were starting, and we read through them all the time. And like pretty much everything that all these people said we wouldn't do, we've done like tenfold at this point, and they all were like signed best of luck.
Yeah,
So like it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing and a like kind of a big fuck you in a sense of like
Ah,
just like but it's funny too. Like it's like in a lighthearted way, it's not like we're not resentful or anything, but it's in a lighthearted way. But that's kind of like where that came from.
yeah.
love that. Love that. The last time we talked, I wish I could remember what song it was we were talking about, but there was a song that I had an idea of what it was about.
It was
And
addicted.
oh, it was. It
Yep.
was. I can't believe you remember that. Yeah, it was.
When
I
I was I heard like because I think the last interview was like just audio maybe, and then I was like, wait a second. I was like, I feel like she had a guess about addicted on what it was being addicted to.
Yeah,
And I think you said to the depressed state of mind was what your
yes.
guess. I
Yes.
guess it's
And
long enough time I can say what it's what where I came from, right?
you tell me now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for me it was actually about like being addicted to um, being a musician, to being a an
Oh,
artist. And it was like even though it can like beat you down or wear you down with like uh you like Diamond said, all the people who would tell you no or all the obstacles that can come, it's like you're still addicted to it and you'll still keep doing it even if like sometimes things can take a toll on you. That was kind of like the gist of it.
that makes sense. That's really interesting. It's always interesting how some things line up or match up. I had an interview earlier today with Donnie Burbage, who's playing with. He used to play with Aether Realm, but now he's playing with Cradle of Filth, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, I have to play music. It doesn't matter if people like it or don't like it. I can't not like. It's just a part of who I am. And so yeah, totally like. I mean, that's a good thing for musicians, for us, that we get to continue to digest everything that you guys do.
Yeah. I mean, I genuinely don't know what else like I would do if I did like if you know music stopped existing today or something. I don't know like what my purpose would be. I truly don't. Like I've always just been like when I fell into guitar and music, that's just like what I knew my life's work. Well, I guess I could die at that point then, I guess, but that's just what I knew my life's work was. And it was just like, I was telling Josh this recently is like, we went to school and like we were in a private school and like all the girls were like, my dream is to like get married and have babies. And I'm like, that's awesome. But like for me, I was like this weird kid. I was like, I just want to tour the world and like play my guitar, like that's just
Yeah.
like, and genuinely like people laugh because they're like, why have you not changed it all? And I'm like, I don't know. I love what we do. I love it so much. Nothing like literally they asked me in an interview at like Louder Than Life one like last time we played it about something. I like literally started tearing up. Me and our drummer were talking about this last night when I was with him. I was like, I don't know what it is. It's just like literally my life. So yeah, it's addicting, but it's like, it can be tough, but nothing compares to it for me, man.
I am super thankful because the music industry has changed so much, and you guys don't get the financial or the even really physical revenue that you deserve. I mean, I can't imagine a world without music. It just I mean, I would want to cease to exist just as a consumer. So even though the music industry has changed so much that you like financially, you guys have to push and work and like drive so hard to be able to do it for a living. I'm so thankful that you guys still do and that people still do because I worry all the time. I worry all the time when I see how much harder and harder and harder it is for musicians. I'm like, please just buy the merch. Please like go to the shows, like do everything that you can to make sure that this does not stop because if this stops, like we're gonna be in all the wars all the time. Like no one's gonna be able to get along because we won't have that outlet.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like it's hard because I know like touring and everything, making money in music, it's very difficult because of the way the business is has been like set up and like artists are exploited, you know? But I think where a lot of artists and people have it wrong is they feel like there's no money in music. But the truth is there's a lot of money in music. It's just the way that things are set up, artists aren't getting it. It's going
Yeah.
to other people. So I
Mhm.
think first and foremost, artists just have to make sure that they are knowledgeable about what they're doing, what they're signing, who they're getting in business with, and kind of like figuring out if they want to do it that way or if they want to just, do it in a way that they know is going to be lucrative for them, but it might be a little bit harder. You know what I mean? So there's no, I grew up in a music business household. My dad's in the music business, and we can all say firsthand there's no other than sports and very few other occupations. There's not many businesses that generate money as fast and as in such as larger quantities as a music business, but you just really have to know how to get it. That's the main thing. So like it always bums me out when I feel like artists feel like there's no money in music because I'm like that's not true, and it's so discouraging. I bet if you're like an artist and you don't know better and you're like, why would I go do that and make $0? But I just like artists to know and like bands to know like no, the money's there and it's a lot. Just you got to make sure you know how to get your money.
Know what you should do. You know how there's like musicians who teach like, guitar lessons or vocal lessons or whatever. You should be teaching different artists how to be able to make that money. You can charge them to do that because I can guarantee musicians would pay the money if they were able to learn how to make that into a more uh financial thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. I don't know how we would know if we weren't taught either. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. So if you guys could tour with one band that you guys could agree with, I'll say two, that you guys could agree with, who are your two top ones that you guys would love to tour with?
Oh,
Wow.
I mean, number one, that's
Yeah, number one would be Metallica.
Metallica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but number
In eye
two,
contact with you, like we're on the same page, right?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, it's always Metallica's number one. Uh, our two might split off some. Like I have like some number twos that are like tied, where I'm like, if it could be any of these bands, I would be fine. Uh, but
I
I'll
would
let
let you pick a number two because I'm just like, yeah, I know
uh,
one, and then
I mean, it would probably be for me either. I'm gonna pick like three more, but it would be
Hey,
like
do it.
it would be probably like Korn or Slipknot or like Gojira. Those are three bands that I would just
Any of those would make sense.
yeah, it would just be even just to be able to watch them every night, would just be a blast.
Yes. The
Yeah.
last time I saw Gojira, so I've seen them, I think, three times now. And the last time I saw him, there was a kid behind me that had never seen him before. And I was like, Gojira is amazing live. But I'm like, but they're not like super flashy. Like they just get up there and they play, but pay attention. And
Yeah.
I forgot
Pay attention.
to pay attention to what they're doing. Well, I forgot that they have money from the Olympics now, and they had pyrotechnics, and they had a big screen in the back, and I was just like, they made me a liar. Now this kid's like side eyeing me, like, you lady, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm all, I swear this is not
Yeah,
normal for them.
I respect them a lot. That's another band that kind of like they started like when we were babies, in like the 90s, and they've just grinded and grinded and grinded, and over the last, I feel like 10 years, they've really just like become a pretty freaking big band. And
Yeah.
I think it's just awesome how dedicated to their craft they are. They all like practice so much. They're all so good at what they do. They're so tight. Like I was watching an interview with Mario, the drummer, and he's talking about how much he still practices. He has kids and a family, and he still practices every single day for like hours. And it's just like that's so rare. And
Yeah.
like I respect that band so much because I feel we've learned that that's kind of what it takes to like get to that point. And a lot of bands just can't stick and stay like that. Like
Yeah.
they're just like, fuck this. But Gojira, man, they've been the epitome of like what it takes to be a band and actually make it to like that level, and it's been awesome to watch.
It is really cool to see it happen. And their messages are so important that it's
Mm-hmm.
funny because when people are like, oh, metal's just so depressing and it's so evil and stuff. And I'm like, these guys are literally out there trying to change the world. But yeah, let's say that they're evil.
talking about whales and saving the ocean.
Yeah.
And none of them even have tattoos. Like they're like tattoo free, the most
Oh,
normal looking
weird.
guys. Yeah, they
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
nope.
Just a pure band. Just a
They
band
Yeah.
are.
out there being their pure selves. I did want to talk about the artwork. It's a really cool cover this time. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, that was we went through we there's always been like this. First and foremost, Diamond is absolutely terrified of all bugs. Like any
Oh
kind of
yeah.
bug possible, just like terrified of. And I remember at the beginning of recording this album, it was like a moth invasion in Colorado. And they were just like, you would open the door and there'd be like 50 moths just like flying around crazy, or like they'd be
It's like
inside.
a thing. They have like a moth
Yeah,
migration like every year.
it was
Oh
crazy.
gosh.
And so I remember, so much so, Diamond would have Ruben like looking under the bed at night to make sure there was no bugs or like just anything. It was just funny. So there's always been that like bug fascination. And so when with the artist with Kevin like working through the art, we had that idea of a bug, and kind of the message we felt was kind of cool was like, you know, to a lot of people, bugs are something that are like really gross or weird or ugly, but at the end of the day, they're just a life form that's trying to live and be the best bug it can be, the best, thing it can be. And it felt like that definitely related to, people too, because like we all have things about ourselves we don't like, or that, you know, but at the end of the day, everyone's trying to do what they feel is best for themselves, and to, those kind of
Should
the
have known
idea.
it was going to be such an introspective story. I was like, some people are just like, I just thought it was cool, or I just thought it kind of went along with what we were talking about. But I should have known that there was going to be like a whole layers of story behind that because you guys are really good at that. There's that you can dig and find more and more and more with you guys with all three albums. Um, may I ask you, Diamond, is there a reason why, or is it just one of those like irrational fears that people have?
I'm from Georgia, and so like in the South we have just all kinds of bugs. There's bugs everywhere, and my mom is also like deathly afraid of bugs. So I think I got it from her probably.
Makes sense.
But like roaches and shit, I can't deal with them. Like it's just I will literally enough to where I ended up moving out of the studio and I went and stayed at a hotel every night. I can't do moth anything. I just don't like them. So and I always tell people they're like, but why? And I'm like, do you know what that thing does? Like, you never know if they fly or don't, bite or don't, are they poisonous or not? You have zero idea, like, what it does, why it does it. I don't want to find out. Is it going to kill me or not? Like, I just don't know. They're ugly. I just don't like them. I
Hey,
just don't.
that's
I
fair.
can, I can handle like ants and stuff. It's not like that bad, like earthworms when I go fishing or something. Like I didn't deal with that kind of stuff, but I just can't. I don't do spiders or like cockroaches or like I don't like things that fly that much. I don't
Oh,
know. Just
yeah.
not into.
You don't know
Just
which
not.
direction they're gonna go. I get
Yeah,
it.
I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Mm-mm.
I used to be so terrified of snakes that if I saw one in a movie, I would have a nightmare of it that night. And so I would get like all over chills every single time. And so I started watching this TikTok I don't channel, I guess. I don't even know what they're called on there. But it was this girl that always had all these she has like this um I don't even know what it's called. She had all these different lizards and snakes and all these things, and she would hold them and talk about them, and people would ask questions, and she would educate, people on all of them. And that's helped me so much to a point to where I'm like, I think the next time I see one, I'm not going to feel like I'm gonna cry and
Yeah.
want to run. I think I can maybe like observe it, and I'm just like slowly working my way into potentially touching one.
Well, it's weird. It's like things that like most people are more scared of than bugs. I'm like not worried about like rats and stuff. I'm like, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't want it near me, but like, cool. He's kind of cute, I guess. And like snakes, I don't want it near me because I'm not sure which ones are like
Yeah.
poisonous. I kind of know the difference, but but if someone gave me a snake and they were like, it's not poisonous, it's not going to bite you, like it doesn't, I'm just like, okay, cool.
Oh,
But something about
bugs.
insects, I can't.
Well,
And
I
there's
mean,
a
I
trillion of
I
them.
even follow like an Instagram of this guy in Russia who has like all the like he has a room full of rare types of like bugs, like huge roaches that are like this big and like beetles, like huge, like just the strangest, grossest looking bugs. And he like talks about them. He's like holding them in his hand. They're on his face. And I'm still like, mm-mm.
No, no. I'll
No.
watch you play with them. I'm not touching them. I didn't know that praying mantises could fly or made noise, and I found out the hard way.
Mm-hmm. Praying mantis, they don't fly with any kind of good direction.
Yeah.
It is that's what I'm saying. See, I don't want to have to deal with all that. You know?
that I remember even Diamond was staying at like some dorms briefly in college and texted a friend in the middle of the night to come across campus and kill this bug that was on the wall.
Yeah. I was at the
They do
University of
it?
Alabama.
Yep,
Yeah,
and he did
yeah,
it.
yeah, he did.
Oh, that's nice.
I was at the University of Alabama and I was like, I think I just saw something in my like curtain, like in the window. But I was like, I don't want to open it to find out. And I like started texting people like that I knew. And the ones that were in my building didn't answer. Like it was, like they were probably asleep. So I texted the one guy I knew liked me a lot. And I was like, I'm gonna make Thomas come across this. Sorry, Thomas. Thomas, come across this freaking campus and come kill this bug. And
Oh
he
my
like he called me and he's like, what is it? And I was like, I think there's a bug on my window. And he's like, he's like a big country guy too. He's like, all right. And like he showed up like a few minutes later, smacked it down. It was like that was it. But I just can't do it. I don't know.
bug rescuer. Are you still friends with Thomas? Have you kept him around?
Well, actually, what's funny is he texted me. I think it was like Christmas or time or something. I hadn't talked to him in a long time, just to say like he was like had been keeping up with the band and that he was like super
Oh,
stoked for us or something. Yeah.
that's nice.
That's
You're
even
like,
funnier. It's like as soon as a music video, Diamond's like, "Can we get some bugs in the video?"
As long as they're tamed and someone's watching them, that's not me. I'm fine. They look interesting.
Oh,
what happens if they're like the whoever's doing the videography of the whatever song you guys are doing wants to incorporate bugs?
That's
it looks
fine.
sick.
As long as I don't have to be like super close to it, doesn't have to like be on my body, my person. I can handle it.
Okay.
I think it'll look cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have any irrational fears, Josh? I shouldn't say irrational because a lot of people are afraid of bugs.
Irrational fears. Hmm.
Maybe we should have put this out here for people.
I
Yeah.
literally he just threw me in the fire, but I literally have never took because like there's been interviews where people are like, "What are you most afraid of?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you that. Like I've never told anyone that in an
No,
interview before. I'm
really?
like, My mom has always taught me when I was coming up. She's like, "Don't tell anybody your biggest fear." So now it's out there because like then they can just come use it against you later. But here we are. So if there's any bugs in my bunker or anything come moving forward, then this is where it came from.
I did
Camera
remember
that we've been
I did
watching.
remember finding a fake roach in my bed one time,
Yeah, for
courtesy
sure.
of
A fake one.
Diamond trying to scare me.
Did it get you?
I like it wasn't moving, so I was like, this is a little weird, but I still definitely like threw the blanket at it real fast to see. But yeah, no, nothing that I can like really think of.
You guys prank each other a lot?
We're not big
Not really.
pranksters.
Yeah,
Yeah, not huge pranksters.
No, more serious.
Yeah.
Well, I've taken a lot. Taken a lot of your guys' time. I super appreciate it. That was a fun chat. Congratulations on the upcoming album. I don't think you guys have anything to worry about. It's an incredible album all the way through. That's already getting really good reception. You guys have done a pretty good job of showcasing what the album is going to sound like, even though you still definitely have some surprises in there. But I can guarantee that it's going to be very well received.
Well,
thank you.
thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
the encouragement. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm sure you're still going to lose sleep for the next month, but
No, we appreciate that. Thank you.
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
thanks you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.